Now, whether the writer or the composer wishes to allow players to make up their own music during the course of a piece, having been given a phrase or a set of pictures with which to improvise, or whether they prefer to actually write the notes out for each player, is entirely a personal choice for each composer. I wouldn't make any rules about it at all. Let's look at how we can compose an indeterminate piece of our own, specifically using the Type 3 approach that we discussed in our last video. If you haven't watched that video already, do that first and then come back here. To summarize, the Type 3 approach gives performers and/or conductors the power to make their own musical decisions, shaping the composition based on predetermined musical material. In the case of Judy's Two Minds One Music, this material is a set of pitches. Each of the pitches and their order are different depending on what part you are playing. For example, the piccolo has a different set of pitches and initial order when compared to the alto saxophone. The conductor is then given control over cueing in each performer, shaping the overall development of the structure and the texture. So how should we start this composition process? The first step would be to choose how much control are you willing to relinquish over to your performers, and to also generally scaffold the layout of your composition. Answer these questions through the scaffolding composition worksheet that can be found on the Google website. Now, you can select your pitches. Decide if you want every instrument in your ensemble to have the same pitches or different pitches. You can even experiment with both if you like. If you wanted to, you could incorporate Type 1 compositional processes in selecting your pitches. Here are some activities that you could do to experiment with this. Assign pitches from a scale to a set of numbers on a dice. Then you can roll those dice to then select your pitches for you. You could also assign 2 pitch options on the heads or tail of a coin and then flip that coin. Lastly, you could even draw a random line to represent a pitch contour and then assign the pitches to that line that you've drawn. Below, I've linked to a video by 12 Tone who talks more about this Type 1 compositional process and can give you some more exciting ideas. If you don't want to use a Type 1 approach, you can simply select your pitches from a scale, mode, chords, or even a motif. If you want your performers to play certain rhythms, repetitions of pitches, or just any other specific details that you want to keep consistent over all performances of this composition, be sure to make that very clear on your score, or leave it unclear if you want less predictability. Here's a small number of the infinite ideas that you could use in your own composition. When scoring your indeterminate piece, I recommend starting out with a pencil and physical manuscript paper. This gives you the creative freedom to do almost anything with your score without having to know the ins and outs of Sibelius. The only limit is your imagination. However, if you are interested in scoring indeterminate music on Sibelius, check out this tutorial from scoringnotes.com. I'll link that website in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys also check out my other video resources for assisting composition.